Well, it looks like we're live, I think. I am down at the beach. There's a reason why I wanted to do this. I'm just going to show you the tide now. So, a few days ago, I was sat right here. Yeah? A few days ago, I was sat right there, and I was filming over in this direction towards Barrow-in-Furness. And essentially, as usual, you saw all the buildings of Barrow, except this time it was some 23.7 miles away. I mean, we're talking a huge, massive distance here. I mean, the mirror ball is just up there. So I've come down today because I want to know when this tide comes in and it reaches this spot. I want to know what the height of the tide was, because I know what the height of the tide was when I filmed the buildings of Barrow, which was 3.43 meters. So the height of the tide then, 3.43 meters. So whatever the height of the tide is when it gets to here, which shouldn't be too much longer, will be the height of above sea level. I'll be able to work it out. So I'll subtract obviously 3.43 from the height of whatever it is today, and then I'll have my accurate height above sea level. I mean, it's sensational stuff. There's my dinner. Bloody starving. Have we got anyone in? Is anyone in? Let's see. Oh, we have got some in. Hello. Yeah, I am supposed to be at work, you're right. Oh, you want to be a different way, right, okay. Sorry, guys. Where are we? Who's in? Switch, blah, blah, blah. Playing question, Ranty, works for himself. He's not a slave. Exactly. I've actually got all my work paint stuff on, covered in it. I've skived off to come and get this observation. No, I've already, yeah, it was using the P1000. I filmed the buildings of Barrow from here, from this spot right here, a few days ago, and the tide was at 3:43, so it was fairly out. So I want to know what the height of the tide is when the tide gets here. So once I have that data, I'll know what my elevation above sea level was. I'll be able to work it out, because it could be anywhere from let's say 2 meters to 4 meters essentially. In whichever case it is, it's absolutely ball crushing video. But I want it to be as accurate as possible because it's such stunning footage with the P1000. But yeah, the weather today's crap, you can't see a thing. Who else have we got in? Let's see. Just saying it's ball crushing doesn't make it so. Well, if you're seeing some buildings that are 80 foot high from 23.6 miles away, I would essentially say that that is ball crushing. Hi Leeds, nice to see you in. Jamie, nice to see you. Yeah, so basically I've skived off work to come and do this observation, and I shouldn't really have done it because I've got to have this job done by Monday, which means I'm going to be working flat out. But it was such a nice day, there was calm weather. I thought, do you know what? I need to get this data because I haven't released the video yet because I didn't have an accurate height above sea level. And you know what the Globers are like? They'll be saying, oh, well, your data is 50 foot above sea level. And I'll be like, oh, come on. Right, so here's where I was sat. And you actually see it in the video because I show it in the video. So right here. So when the tide gets there, I'll know. I'll be able to work it out through tide times of Blackpool. I mean, if any of you guys fancy doing that for me, if you can figure out what the tide height will be. When I took the observation, it was at 3:43 was the height of the tide. And right now, at approximately, what, 2 minutes past 10? Two minutes past 10 is when the tide got to where I was. So, what else have we got in? It's not good to work so much. I know. I've taken on too much recently. I understand that. Who else do we have in? Right, you might want to take an art class, blah blah, about perspective. Yep. Right guys, here we go. Does anybody happen to know what the tide height now is in Blackpool? If you search tide times Blackpool, I think it's what you'll have to do is you move your cursor across the times at the bottom. If you get to about 10 o'clock, it should give you a time of the height of the tide. In the video as well, I reference these green things here. I do a pan around and I show you the mirror ball up there. Which mode do you want it in? How's that? Is that still in portrait mode? Right guys, well, I've essentially come to get what I needed, which was the time that the tide reached this part here. So, oh Adam, mate, listen, can you do me a massive favour? The tide times at Blackpool, right? Could you find out what the height of the tide is right now? I think if you search tide times Blackpool, it should give you the height of what the tide will be now. Because I filmed Barrow in Furness from here, mate, 23.6 miles away from that spot here. And I need to get the data. I mean, I can find out later, there's no rush. You're right, I could, but I'm actually doing a live stream, so it's not like I can just switch around and go and check it myself right now, can I? Can anybody type the time in now, please? So that I've got it on the live stream, because I don't want the Globers to turn around and say that it's the wrong time. So, if you're in the UK, can you tell me what time it is right now? 10:09 a.m. Yeah. Right, 10:09 a.m. Perfect. Yeah, Adam, you know, at the bottom, if you scroll, if you go down a tad, you've got a little cursor that you can scroll over the times, and it should give you the time around about now, 10 past 10, and it should tell you the height of the tide right now. Whee! Look at this tide. A 9-meter tide today. We're gonna have some serious swell here later. Looks like I'm gonna have to move in a minute. Yeah, it's quite a long page, the tide data thing. So you need to just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the dates at the bottom. So you'll have like today, which is Wednesday. So you'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and if you can move the bar over the day and the time. So if you was to do that on today's at 10 past 10, you should get an idea of what the height would be. No, that's the tide, Nora. Oh right, okay. So at 9:24, Adam, perfect. Right. So at 9:24, it's 7:35. So let's just work with that for now, shall we? I know that's a little bit further down the line, but we'll work on that. So essentially, when I took the observation, it was at 3 meters 43, right? So that means that there's I was 4 meters above sea level when I took the observation, because right now is where the tide is where I was sat filming Barrow in Furness from here. The distance, 23.7 miles, right? All the buildings visible as usual. So anyone want to do the curve calcs on that big boy? 4 meters, what are we looking about? Let's say 15 feet above sea level, 23.6 miles. Make my way back to the car. Just a minute, 'cause it's bloody freezing now. Even though it's a really warm, standing here in a pair of shorts, it's bloody freezing. I'll tell you what as well, the weather today, you can't see a single thing, you can't see anything. You can't see any of the mountains in Wales, you can't see the wind turbines, you can't see the mountains over towards Barrow, you can't see anything. It's just a whiteout completely, there's nothing to see. What's Mutley Dog said? I can't see Barrow in this. No, you're right, Mutley. This is, as it says in the title, it's data collection, right? Because a few days ago, from right where the tide is now, is where I filmed Barrow in Furness, right down there. And I need to know what the height of the tide was, which essentially is around about 4 meters above where I actually took the observation from, by actually going now and getting this data, where it's roughly about a 7 meter tide right now. You know, I'll have to check all the data when I get back, but when I took the observation, it was at 3 meters 43. So by virtue of being able to work out how high I was above actual sea level at the time of the video, I'm going to say in the region of 15 feet. And we're seeing 23.7 miles. So it's only through going back and going when the height of the tide is the exact height of where I filmed it, that I can work out with my observation how we'll see that. It really isn't that difficult to work out. But something that is difficult for the Globers to work out is, why can we see those buildings from such long distances? Yeah? That's what you should be asking yourself. Never mind why am I doing the live stream. I'm doing the live stream to get data. So yeah, this is all about data collection, people. If I filmed those buildings, well, I did film the buildings when the tide was at 3 meters 43, and we've got an estimation now of the height being 7 meters 40 in that sort of range. That puts me 4 meters above sea level when I took the video. So what's 15 feet above sea level, distance 23.7 miles. Has anyone done the curve calcs on that? 241 feet hidden. Wow, 241 feet hidden. So the Globers need to ask themselves, when I release the video of course, how can we see those buildings from that distance? Yeah, how is it possible to see all the buildings that I normally see from 23.7 miles when 241 feet should be hidden? You know, this is the questions they should be asked. Exactly, Ryan. Yeah, you're right. So tomorrow, for instance, I can go back tomorrow, and because they have the, you know, obviously tide and date or whatever is just an estimation, but the buoys register the heights. So that data will be collected today and be able to go tomorrow, and I'll be able to check at 9 minutes past 10 tomorrow. I'll be able to check what 9 minutes past 10 today. What was the tide height in Blackpool? And then if it'll give me an accurate tide height for 9 minutes past 10, which will be perfect, because then I'll just minus 3 meters 43 and I'll have my height above sea level. Dead easy. And then I'll release the 4K video, because I shot it in 4K. So this is going to be sensational stuff yet again. I mean, there's also another video that I need to release, which is seeing Great Orme from this very spot. So from, let me just show you. So from the side of the mirror ball there, when the height of the tide was at 3 meters, because it was filmed on the same day. So it was slightly before I went down the ramp and videoed Barrow in Furness. So from the side of the mirror ball there, I filmed Great Orme. Now, I randomly just picked 50 feet above sea level. Let's just do 50 feet above sea level. Well, 800 feet should be missing. Great Orme is only 450, 500 feet high. So how can we see Great Orme? Again, and that's looking in a different direction. So that's not looking north, that's looking south. So when you talk about refraction, you'd be saying, well, okay, well, how did it manage to loom in both places at the same time? Are you telling me that it had the same atmospheric conditions all over this entire peninsula of land over a span of 70 miles? That would be ridiculous to think that. Right, who else has been saying stuff? It's a superior mirage. Who said that? Why would it be a superior mirage? What's a superior mirage? Tell me, what's a superior mirage? Someone explain to me what a superior mirage is. I already know it, but I want the eye to explain it to me. Morning, Alan. Muttley, hello. Yes, but we're seeing all of Great Orme, my sunshine, not just the very top of it. Wow, these globers. It's like they say. So if, oh, I saw, let's say it like this. I filmed a human being in its entirety from 3 miles away, right? Let's just say I said that. And then the glober comes along and says, the human is 2 meters tall. And you go, yeah, but I saw all of it, not just his frigging hair. Muttley, 679 feet is the top of it. The top of... What part of that is the top of it do you not understand? Alan B. Okay, what's the question? Right. So, I came down today to film the tide height where I was sat a few days ago. So I wanted to know what the tide height was at this exact time. So we're getting a rough estimation of around about 7 meters 40, something like that. So I filmed Barrow in Furness from here, from the mirror ball, when I was essentially 4 meters above sea level, right? So let's say I'm 15 feet above sea level, and I'm filming the buildings of Barrow that you've seen before from a distance of 23.7 miles away, right? 241 feet should be missing. So Alan, can you answer me a question? How come I was able to see all the buildings of Barrow when 241 feet should have been missing? Exactly, Muttley. Right, I understand, but where is the footage? It's just your word. Well, you know something, Muttley, and I don't mean to. I don't know if you know me or my work, but if I say I have something, you can bet your backside that I have it. Right? So if I say I've got it, it means I have it. You can literally take my word as my bond when I say that I have it. This is just a data collecting exercise today. This is just a data collecting. Why are you engaging with a troll? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, guys, I just thought I would go live because I wanted to do this live, because if I didn't do it live and show you the tide coming in and cresting where I was sat at that time, with the time spoken by you guys all saying that it was 10:09 a.m, then the Globers wouldn't have believed it. If I didn't do it live, if I'd have just filmed it and said, oh, yeah, they'd have come back with some kind of nonsense about me fudging the maths or something like this. So so doing it live, it's given me an excellent proof of what the tide actually does at a certain time, where it is at a certain time. So basically at the bottom of the ramp, when it touched the bottom of the ramp, it was around about 10:05, and when it actually got to where I was sat on the ramp, it was at 10:09. So all data, you know me, guys, it's all about the data. Right, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I'll probably release the video Thursday or Friday of this week. Just need to get everything put together, and I need to get back to work as well. So all good. Right. Cheers, guys. A few shout outs. Shane Walter, Adam, nice to see you in. Ryan, Sandy. I was going to say Alan B, but retracted. No One's Flower, Flat Enough. Anita, nice to see you in. Stopping Rasta Traffic Hat guy, yep. Rune, nice to see you in. Shane Walter. Anybody else? Do you know, I'll even say hello to the trolls. Muttley Dog and I, whatever he's called. Anybody else? Selena Lyon, Jamie Brown, nice to see you in. Right, okay, I'm gonna skedoodle and let you guys go.